Elon Musk has just announced that he wants to buy Twitter for $43 billion. Anyone who believes in freedom and liberty should wish him every success. Now, I've been on social media, Twitter, for over a decade now, and I have to say I find what was once an exhilarating platform increasingly dull. In fact, at times, Twitter is a bit of a dump. It might be tempting to blame that on those that use Twitter. I think actually a lot of responsibility for what's gone wrong on social media lies with those who run it. Their initial very well-earned success has gone to their hipster heads. Anyone that uses Twitter pays close attention to the number of followers they have. And it strikes me as only fair that if you tweet something, it should at the very least go to all of your followers. They are, after all, the people that have signed up to see what it is that you've said. Somewhere along the line, however, this stopped happening. The people that run Twitter decided that they were going to editorialize. They were going to impose their preferences on those millions of private conversations. Leaving it to a small group of hipsters to decide on what it was that tens of millions of Twitter users could say and read has left Twitter taking up some really absurd positions. Twitter, for example, very famously banned a former US president. At the same time, however, Twitter allows accounts that promote the views of the leadership of Iran and Russia to carry on pushing out their propaganda. Then there are those on Twitter who found themselves locked out of their accounts for simply expressing basic biological facts. Jonathan Haidt, one of my favourite American thinkers, recently wrote a very good essay in The Atlantic magazine. He suggests that the polarization of political and cultural opinion in America that's happened over the past 10 years is largely a consequence of what's happened on social media. I think he might be onto something. Instead of the freedom of ideas and free expression, Twitter seems to have created fragmentation. Instead of allowing the competition of ideas, what Twitter has done is allow a small number of hipsters to curate the national conversation. I think that social media can and will be so much better than it currently is. But it needs someone like Elon Musk, someone who understands the free market, who believes passionately in free speech and the freedom of ideas, to come in, to break up the social media cartel, and to allow social media to be part of something that is a genuine force for good, for democracy, and for free thinking. Elon Musk is really onto something, and all of us who use social media should wish him every success.